Hey, Rocky Peak, Michael here again, and so great to be with you. This is day 2 of our Adventure Israel tour, and right now I'm standing in this canyon. It's the location is called Avdat. Now, in Hebrew, the word Ein means spring, so you often see place names with Ein this or Ein that, or even like a famous one we'll be at in a couple days is, I guess maybe tomorrow, is called En Gedi, which is really the spring of En Gedi, where David hid out with his men from Saul. But anyway, this is called Ein Avdat. You can see it's a huge canyon. And one of the things we've been learning is that water is so precious in Israel. Water means life. And so today we're in the desert of Zin, where Israel wandered with the Lord, for like 40 years. And if you remember that account, God rescued them out of Egypt. They came to Mount Sinai. They entered into covenant with him there, and then after staying a year at Mount Sinai, it was time to move on and take the promised land. But in preparation for that, Moses sent out 12 spies to go check out the land and see if it was all that it was supposed to be, to learn the enemy defenses and so on. When they came back, the good news is that the land was amazing. The bad news was there was a lot of walled, fortified cities. There were some giants in the land, kind of like Goliath, that sort of giant. And so 10 of the men said, we need to go back. We can't take it. And only 2 men trusted the Lord and what he'd already showed his power to do. Those 2 were Joshua and Caleb. And so, of course, they got outvoted, and the whole nation of Israel almost went into like a mutiny mode to get rid of Moses and to go back to Egypt. And so at this point, they'd already seen God work in so many ways supernaturally in their life, and it was obvious they weren't going to be able to follow him and trust him. And so God said, okay, you're going to get your wish. You want to stay here in the desert? You can stay here. In fact, you'll stay here for the next 40 years until this entire generation that refused to trust me will die off, and your children that you're so afraid for, your children will be the ones that go into the land. And so in that context, we've been here at this spring and talking about a great passage in Deuteronomy 8 where God says that he led Israel into the wilderness and fed them manna so they would learn to depend on him, that depending on the words coming out of his mouth were the key to their future. And so he made their literal food every day dependent on them learning to obey. And of course, when the greater son of Israel came, Jesus, and he was in the wilderness like they were in the wilderness, but for 40 days instead of 40 years, he too was tested to see what was in his heart. But he passed the test, and you may remember he quotes from Deuteronomy 8, that very same passage. In the very first temptation, he said, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that flows from the mouth of God. And so, such a beautiful message for us that the key to our life, the key to God's blessing, the key to his presence in our life, is we learn, as we often say at Rocky Peak, to listen and follow, to hang on every word. And so we're learning that at a new level here on this journey. And this is one of my favorite places to go, Ein Avdat. Now, we've sent the party ahead for us to stay behind and make this video, but they're heading into the steepest part, going up the side of this canyon. There's ladders in the wall, metal ladders. It's just a whole lot of fun. And then at the top, there's some magnum bars awaiting us. So God bless you, and we'll tune in soon.